Welcome to footballgameplan.com where football makes sense. I'm Tyler Markovich with the Zarda Playbook. Emory Hunt's NFL Week 6 coverage is here. Houston at Cincinnati. Houston overcomes a 21-point lead, ties the game up at 21, finds herself down 7 inside the 5-yard line on 4th and goal. And what do? They try to run the ball instead of executing with one of the best receivers in the game, Andre Johnson, who had a dominant game. I don't know why they didn't do that. Cincinnati, a huge win against Baltimore. They are now in first place in the AFC North. After that huge loss against Denver, they've rallied the troops. And like you said off camera, they do not get it going into the last couple of minutes. We saw what happened against Cleveland. It was almost a trap game. Can this happen again? Can Houston go into Cincinnati and bounce back?
Well, keys to victory for Houston, what they want to do when they get into Cincinnati, number one, you want to take away one of their options. My suggestion, take away Cedric Benson, make Carson Palmer stay back there and throw the ball 40 times a game. That way you can utilize your defensive pass rush with Okoye, Mario Williams, who's looked impressive this season so far. So you want to get those guys back there and pressure the quarterback. So take away the run. That's number one. Two, my hat goes off to Matt Schaub. He played a phenomenal. He played an okay game. He played decent. That one play, which was costly, the intercept return for the touchdown, that's what killed him. But he's played solid. So Matt Schaub can continue to spread that ball around, get the ball out to your targets. That is keys to victory number two for the Texans. Third, and we say this every week when covering Houston, they're going to have to get that running game going. Force the run in order to open up that play action. I don't care if the Bengals are stuffing the run. The Bengals, you saw what happened last week when they stuck with the run against Baltimore. It opened up late, and they were able to get some running lanes, and Cedric Benson was able to break a long run for a touchdown. So you have to stick with the run with Slayton. Bengals can try to come after you. The way you slow down a pass rush like the Bengals, screens, misdirections, keep Slayton involved, and you should have some success.
Well, only 75 rush yards per game, which is not good, and they're giving up 140. Cincinnati completely opposite, 126 yards per game. They're only giving up 99. So these teams are very contrasting. But how does this team not get too high on themselves, bounce back, and how do they win their 5th in a row?
Well, keys to victory for the Bengals, you want to start the way you finish. No more cardiac cat stuff. No more waiting to the last minute to get the game going. You want to win the game when you're supposed to win it early in the game, and that way you could rest late. So start off fast. That's keys to victory number one. Two, you want to keep that passing rhythm you have. They looked okay. The offense started working late with the passing game. You want to keep that rhythm going first off in the early parts of the game. You want to use your pass to set up your run against Houston. Work that secondary to back those guys off, because Houston does have some talented cornerbacks that like to come up and make tackles. So you want to back those guys up by hitting the short routes back on. Now you're able to run the ball with Benson. Third, you want to get after Schaub. You saw what happened when you get pressure on him. He throws off his back foot. He makes an errant throw here and there. So that's keys to victory. Also, you want to make sure you might want to double Mr. Johnson. That's the hugest target they have. He's a man out there. You have to double team him, or at least roll coverage toward him to take him out the game and take your chances with Walter and Owen Daniels.
Well, Houston gets a lot of special teams yardage from one of the best kick returners in the game in Jacoby Jones, and Schaub with Andre Johnson and company, those other receivers, the tight end Owen Daniels, they could move the ball that way. I think Cincinnati a little too high on themselves. I'm going to go with the upset here. I like the Texans.
I like the Bengals in this matchup. It's going to come down to special teams. You saw Brad St. Louis yesterday last week had a real tough go about it with snapping the ball and everything like that. So special teams is going to be key. The Bengals special team hasn't been as strong as predicted in the earlier parts of the season. So it's going to come down to special teams. But I like the Bengals. They're playing at home. They're going to play up to the home crowd. I think this will be the game where they finally put together in the beginning part of the game and dominate throughout. I like the Bengals.
Houston in desperation mode. Need a win for Kubiak. They're going to get it done. For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.